Hi all. Today we begin solid state physics. Actually, solid state physics is largely concerned with crystals and electrons in crystals. In the first chapter, we are going to discuss crystal structure and binding. In the outset, crystal structure. When a crystal forms in a constant environment, the form develops as if the identical building blocks were added continuously. Okay, that identical building blocks are atoms or group of atoms. Atoms or group of atoms. So we can define a crystal as three-dimensional periodic array of atoms. Three-dimensional periodic array of atoms. Okay, an ideal crystal is constructed by a continuous infinite repetition of identical structural units. Okay, infinite repetition of identical structural units will form an ideal crystal. In a simplest crystal, that identical structural unit is a single atom. Okay, the repetition of this single atom in three dimension will form an ideal crystal. Okay, for example, copper, silver, gold, etc. For instance, in a sodium chloride crystal, NaCl crystal, the basic structural unit is a molecule. This is chlorine, this is sodium. Okay. The infinite repetition of the sodium chloride molecule in three-dimensional space will form a crystal. Okay. So here we can take it as we can take the basic structural units as a molecule, a sodium chloride molecule, and in some simplest crystals it can be an atom. Okay, like copper, silver, gold, etc. Now we go to lattice translation vectors. Okay. Suppose this is a crystal formed by protein molecules. We have selected protein molecules because it doesn't have proper symmetry. It doesn't have specific symmetry. Okay. That will help us to define fundamental translation vectors or translation vectors. So, these points are the lattice points corresponding to the arrangement of the molecules in a crystal. Okay, and these are the protein molecules attached to each lattice point. So let us define lattice. We can define lattice as a regular periodic array of atoms. Atoms in space. Regular periodic array of points in space. And we can define bases as, here lattice points are there, this black marks are lattice points, and these molecules are bases. Bases we can define group of atoms attached to every point. Group of atoms attached to every point. So we can define a crystal as lattice plus basis. So lattice plus basis forms a crystal. Lattice plus basis forms a crystal. Now let's define the fundamental translation vectors A1, A2, and A3. A1, A2 and A3. Let's select a point A having the position vector R, and we can choose another point B such that the atomic arrangement is similar. Atomic arrangement is same when viewed from both of these points. Okay, in such a way that we are selecting another point B, and we can connect these 2 points R dash and R by using this fundamental translation vectors U1 A1 plus U2 A2 plus U3 A3 in 3 dimension. Okay, so uh, this we can write r dash equal to r plus a translation vector t comprised of this fundamental translation vectors a1, a2 and a3. So we can connect these 2 points having the similar surroundings with a translation vector t comprised of this fundamental translation vectors known as primitive translation vectors. So these fundamental translation vectors are known as primitive translation vectors, and this u1, u2 and u3 are arbitrary integers. So by using this translation vector, we can connect the 2 points in the crystal having the similar surroundings. So for instance, I have selected a point B here, and this is our translation vector t. This t I can write as, by using the I have defined already here fundamental or primitive translation vector a1 and a2. By using this primitive translation vector a1 and a2, this is a 2-dimensional space, so I am using only a1 and a2. So for 3-dimensional space I need to use a3 also. Here I have defined fundamental primitive translation vectors a1 and a2. By using this primitive translation vector, I can connect these points that t equal to this is a vector. This vector is the sum of this vector plus this one. Okay, so let me put it as C here. So the AB equal to the translation vector AB equal to AC plus CB. So we know what's AC. AC we can find this distance. This distance is similar to this distance. We have defined here one vector, primitive translation vector a1. By using this translation vector a1, this is similar to this one. So we can write t equal to minus 2a1 plus this is this distance CB equal to this and the distance between these 2 points, these 2 lattice points. So that is 2a1 plus 2a2, minus 2a1 plus 2a2. So I can define any point in this crystal, any 2 points in this crystal having the similar surroundings by using this translation vector which comprised of this primitive translation vector a1 and a2. So I can define the primitive translation vector in such a way. Okay, so for another example, if I am selecting a point here, or if I am selecting 2 points having the similar surroundings, one is this one, and then another is this one. These 2 points, this is ABCD, this is E and this is F. So I need to connect these 2 points. So I can select a translation vector t equal to, this distance is a1, a2, that is minus 2a1 plus a2. Okay, in this way I can connect every points in this crystal having similar surroundings by using the primitive translation vectors. Okay, the symmetry operations in crystal carries the crystal structure into itself. Okay, let me consider these are the lattice points. If I am doing a translation operation, that means I am taking this point into, I'm dragging this point into this point of the crystal into here. So with that, this point will drag into this point, this point will drag into this point, this point will drag into this point, and this point will drag into this point. So after all, there will not be any change in the crystal structure. There will not feel any change in the crystal structure. So we have learned translation operator. There are two other operations known as rotation operation, as well as reflection operation. Okay, reflection operation. This rotation operation, reflection operation, generally known as point operation. Okay, generally known as point operations. Okay, so let me consider a rotation operation. I'm considering a basis in this form. Okay, in this form, I'm considering a basis. These are the lattice points. Then we consider an axis here, and I'm rotating this whole crystal into a pi radian. A whole crystal by pi radian. And after that, there will not be any change in the position. We will not feel any change in the structure and orientation of the crystal. That operation is known as rotation operation, one of the symmetry operation. And if I'm drawing this in this manner, it have an order or arrangement like this, and I'm keeping a mirror here. These two bases are similar to the mirror reflections of these two bases. Okay, and if I'm keeping mirror here, then these two bases are similar to the mirror image of this one, and vice versa. Okay, so I can that means this crystal possesses reflection operation. And the example for rotation operation we have seen, and the example for translation operation also we have seen. Okay, a basis of atoms is attached to every lattice point, with every basis having same composition, arrangement and orientation. Okay, that is not necessary to coincide the center of the atom with the lattice point, with the associated lattice point. Okay, so we can find out the position of the center of the atom J relative to the lattice point by using this equation R equal to xj_a1 plus yj_a2 plus zj_a3. Okay, this a1, a2, a3 and a1, a2 and a3 are primitive translation vectors. Okay, so this is the position vector. This is the center of this atom J, and this is the position vector relative to the lattice point, relative to the associated lattice point, and this is the position vector Rj, and that Rj we can find as xj_a1 plus yj_a2 in 2 dimension, and in 3 dimension that is plus zj_a3. Okay, the value of this xj, yj and zj should be less than or equal to 1 and greater than or equal to 0. Okay, so here we can identify this is the vector a1, this is the primitive translation vector a1, this is the primitive translation vector a2, and by using the primitive translation vector we can find out the position of the center of this center of the atom J in a basis. Okay, in similar way we can find out the center of another atom using this primitive translation vector. Okay, so if I erase this lattice points, even if I erase this lattice point, we can predict where are the lattice points situated by analyzing the position of this basis, or by looking the position of this basis of atoms. Okay.